Round 1 of the playoffs has begun, and the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes took on the Minford Falcons to begin the Division 5 matchups. The Falcons held the 4th seed in their division, while the Buckeyes sat right behind them at number 5. The Buckeyes were hungry for a win this year because they sat out of the postseason last year, but they were going to have to get past the Minford Falcons if they were going to hope to advance to the next round. Both teams came into tonight's game with records of 8-2, and the boys of fall from Nelsonville-York were ready for tonight's matchup against Minford. Late into the first quarter, the Buckeyes looked to put something together. Nathan Dean would hit Daniel Klein on the outside, giving the Buckeyes a first down on the 1-yard line and in good scoring position for the next play. On the very next play, Dean would hand off to Dustin Young, who would punch it in for the touchdown. After missing the extra point, the Buckeyes would lead the Falcons 6-0 to end the first quarter. But to kick off the second quarter, Minford would bounce right back with a touchdown of their own by number 15, Mark Sloan. It was the first for him of the night, and it gave the Minford Falcons a 7-6 lead. Later on in the quarter, it looked as though the Falcons were on their way to scoring again, but as the ball was ran into the end zone, it was fumbled and bounced out of bounds, resulting in a touchback and a big break for the Buckeyes. Yet, the second half was all Falcon action, and the Sloan would get the ball again and prance right into the end zone, adding another 7 points for his team. No surprise here, but Mark Sloan would take the ball again from quarterback Ethan Butcher and earn another touchdown, putting Minford up 21-6. Sloan had big numbers for the night with 38 carries for 237 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Nelsonville-York Buckeyes don't just give up, though. Nathan Dean would hand off to Dustin Young for a 13-yard carry as the Buckeyes tried to move down the field. On the same drive, Dean would hit Klein again on the outside. Klein had 8 receptions for 70 yards for the night. To keep the drive going, Dean pulls the QB keeper out of the playbook and earns the first down on 4th and 1 for his Buckeyes. The Buckeyes were looking to score, and after a Minford face mask penalty, it seemed as though they would have a new set of downs to do so, but the referee ruled that it would remain 3rd down at the 12-yard line. On the next play, Dean threw an interception, ending all hopes of scoring on this drive and bringing the Buckeyes back into the game. Despite throwing 2 interceptions, Dean still went 15 for 27 for 90 yards. Dustin Young had 16 carries for 60 yards for the Buckeyes along with his touchdown, and Justin Cunningham had 7 carries for 31 yards. Minford would wrap up the fourth quarter with another touchdown by Jacob Pagay. Pagay had 11 carries for 51 yards along with the final touchdown of the game. Quarterback Ethan Butcher was 3 for 6 for 23 yards for Minford. At the end of the game, the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes shook hands for the last time in the 2010 season, and the seniors shook hands for the last time wearing their team colors. Coach Dave Bosson was saddened by the loss, but shared his positive opinion of the senior class.
I guess the only positive I could find is I had the opportunity to work with a bunch of great young men that are seniors now, and they'll move on and out of our program, and never wear the brown, orange, and white. It's a sad night for us, but they were a great group of kids, and that's a real positive for our program.
Minford took control of tonight's game and got the win 27-6. The Minford Falcons move on to the next round of the playoffs, but the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes will be back next year and with hopes of winning another TVC title and making the playoffs once again. For Gridiron Glory, I'm Kaylee Donegan.